Hello. All right, now we are live. I think so. Let's get this out on Google Plus. All right, I think this is working now. Bumpy cam on a live stream, only me. Go figure. Let's see if we can get some live stream popping off now. Hello to anybody in live stream land. Want to do a quick video. I'm not using the YouTube app. I don't like the YouTube app. YouTube app is crashes too much. So I'm using the front camera on the S7. All right, let's see if this is working. Let's check it out. All right, yep, there we go. Looks like it's up and running now. It was definitely, I don't know what was going on a second ago. Okay, let's delete some stuff here. I think it's rolling. I think it's rolling. Yeah, looks like it is rolling. Hey, if there's anybody out there, how you doing? What's going on? It's your man Jay Will. Decided not to use the YouTube app. The YouTube app is, YouTube app's been giving me some problems, man. I've been noticing with the YouTube application, the live streaming portion of YouTube, that it tells you what's going on. Oh yeah, okay, there you guys are. You just got off work. All right, Grant, you still work, Grant? I thought you were retired. Just kidding, man. Now, but the YouTube live streaming app, I think I'm not using that. I'm using the front camera on the S7, and I'm using the built-in application on the S7 for live streaming. The YouTube application is not very stable yet. And it might just be because there's a lot of people using it. It might just be because there's a lot of people using it now that is, it's just kind of getting swamped, I guess. I don't know. I'm not using the YouTube app for a while, the live streaming app. I'm going to kind of stay away from it. If I want to do a live stream, I'm going to use the front camera of the S7 because for one, I can get it in 1080p. The quality is not watered down at all by YouTube. And then two, I don't predict that I'll have any problems with all those pop-up messages that I used to get showing something like poor connection and things like that. I have blazing fast internet and it still gave me all those bad pop-ups saying, poor connection and things like that. So I don't know what that's about, but I definitely have a very strong internet connection. And the YouTube app is nice. I'm glad that they've integrated it. The YouTube app is cool. I like it, but I don't like being cut down to 720p for streaming on YouTube. I think a lot of people might want to look at it in 1080p. This particular stream should be in 1080p because I'm not using the YouTube app, and I can see that it's in 1080p. And the YouTube app, no matter what phone I use, seems to water down the quality. I don't know what that's about. So, being able to stream in 1080p, I like it. 720p is cool and everything, but just being able to stream in 1080p live, I think it's a little bit better. And I have a webcam too, but I use the webcam primarily for when I'm going to do probably a group or something like that. But the YouTube application, the integration of YouTube Live, it's actually pretty cool. But I've found that in my use, it's not very stable yet. And I know this just because it's new. Now, when I first started using it, the YouTube Live app, it seemed okay. But now it just seems like the YouTube live streaming app is just completely unstable. No matter what I do, as soon as I start a stream, it'll immediately start saying poor connection and things like that. So I don't know what's going on with the YouTube application, but I don't think I'm going to use it for a while. Not until they iron out some of the flaws and things that are in the YouTube application. So, that's just what it is. What's going on, everybody that's just joining in? Just wanted to do a quick live stream. It's the weekend and getting a lot of packages in, things for review. Got this beautiful smartwatch that people say was a brick on my arm. Look, it's really big. That's it next to my, this is a big watch, but it's comfortable. I got to tell you that. It's very comfortable. I'm still using it, so I'll have a review up on that soon. It's just I'm using a different phone, and this one is linked to that phone. So, yeah, it's a pretty big watch. I'm just reading some comments here. But yeah, I'm gonna probably not use the YouTube application for live streaming. You know, again, I don't want to stream in 720p, or have some people might not want to look at things in 720p, and I just don't want to. I'm tired of all the bad connections, the errors that it keeps giving. Do you have a video on the best turbochargers? That's pretty interesting. Actually, I don't. I don't have a video. That was from Frozen Walkaway in the live stream. I don't have a video on the best turbochargers. Probably because nowadays I use an Anchor, and I have a huge Anchor back there, a couple of different USB Type-C ones, and I plug in there when I'm not really worried about. I have so many devices, I don't really care about it, whether it's gonna be charging fast or not. I can just swap my SIM card. But with some phones, you can't do that. You have to use their charger. So that's kind of a tough one to say which one is the best, because the technology going into each device is different. So the OnePlus 3, it uses dash charging, and dash charging is really fast. But I've also, on the U Ultra, the charging with this, I've heard some people say that this takes a long time to charge. In my experience, it doesn't take that very long to charge. So interesting though. That's a pretty good thing to try probably. But I don't know that there's this one specific charger that's going to work with every phone to map it out. Now I do have lots of different chargers and things like that. I have like wireless Qi charging, and I have different kinds of chargers. But one can't work with the other. It just, I don't know. It's just not gonna work like that. So that's actually a pretty good question. Hey everybody that's just joining the stream, what's going on? That's actually pretty interesting. So what I'll do, I think I'm probably gonna test out, because my big charger in the back there, I have all the different plugs going into it, and when I wanna charge something, I just plug it in. And honestly, I don't even really monitor it like that to see how fast it's charging. I only do the monitoring when I'm actually using the charger for the actual device. So that's when I monitor how fast it's charging, when I'm using the actual power brick for a device. But good question. So I'll tell you what. Donations already, man. I appreciate it, Perry. My review is up for the HTC U Ultra, and I've been reading some of the comments on the review for this, and some people are saying, hey, appreciate an honest review. But I looked at some of the other reviews on the phone, and I kind of just stopped watching them, because it seems like a trend started and everybody was just going to trash that phone. Well, if you look at my review of the device, it's actually, I'm not doing anything different than I did with any other device review. Honestly, it's not. It's the same review. And it's just going to be that way with every review that I have. I'm not going to switch it up. And what I've done is I decided to start a couple of series like Catch and Release, and things like that. So you guys kind of voted on that. But my review of the HTC Ultra is now officially out. There's also a written review on smartphoneconversations.com. We'll talk about it more down the line, because I have tons of phones coming in. Moto G5, S8 Plus, G6, obviously, Sony Xperia XZ, tons of different phones that I want to, kind of experiment with. I don't want to just stay with phones that are very expensive. But the U Ultra's review was my own personal view on that. And, some people might think that I did something different. I'm looking at some of the comments. I'm like, I didn't really do anything different. I just review the phones for what they are. And I try to keep a neutral stance and not take things way too personal. Like when I read from this is why I don't like to watch other people's reviews prior to me reviewing a device, because sometimes it can taint your view on what you want to say on a phone. But I just try to avoid watching a lot of video reviews on devices. Like I haven't watched any video reviews on the LG G6 because I have that device coming. I haven't watched any of you reviews on the G5 Plus because that's a phone that I want to review, and I don't want to. I don't want to. I'll watch them after I've reviewed the phone because I don't want to have any kind of sidetrack in my review period while I'm reviewing a phone. I think a lot of reviewers do that. Not just me. That's not something that's just for me. I think a lot of reviewers do that. And if you are a reviewer in this particular stream, do you watch other reviews prior to you actually getting the device? And if so, how does that impact your review? Because believe it or not, it can impact your review. It can. It can make you can hear something about a device and it'll make you think a little different about it. Anyway, I started the stream by saying that I'm not using the YouTube Live app, and I'm using the front camera of the S7, so you should be able to watch this in 1080p. I'm using the live stream app directly from the S7, and I think that's probably the way I'm going to go going forward. I don't really think it's a good idea to use the YouTube app because the YouTube live stream app has got nothing but problems at this point, crashing, failing. You know, I'm just not feeling it. Let me take care of this here. I think this is an error. Yeah, that was an error. So anyway, man, when I'm doing reviews, I try to stick to within a certain pattern of doing reviews. But with this phone right here, it was so controversial, man. Some phones are like that. It's not just this phone. When the G5 came out and then the Moto line came out with the mods afterwards, everybody felt like the G5 failed as a device. And, you know, I don't think it failed as a device. I think it did pretty good overall. But the U Ultra, my review is up on this phone. I got like multiple things going on. And I'm going to just continue to roll with it like that. I'm not going to change up my review style. I'm not going to follow what everybody else is doing when it comes to reviews. That's not how I roll anyway. I respect other reviewers, but I don't do what they do. I'm just going to keep my own personal, way of reviewing. And I think that's, if you're a reviewer, that's what you should do. You know, you shouldn't follow everybody else. Let me look at some of the comments here. Oh gosh, I need the glasses. All right, so I don't know why there's so much hate for this device. So, and Mark says this device. So I'm assuming that Mark actually has the U Ultra. The U Ultra is actually a pretty solid device, man. I don't see why it is either, man. It's just another device. There's nothing wrong with the U Ultra. I think that all that happened is a lot of people got so caught up in the price. And it just takes for a couple of big names on the internet to start saying something's bad and everybody follows suit. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Any more questions are here? Do you know if there's a difference in cables? Oh, I'll give it. I watch reviews. I just don't care what they say because it's their opinion. But why watch the review? That's Night Tech. I mean, you got to have some kind of feeling or emotion about watching a review. Yeah, I mean, you watch a review because you want to hear how that person's experience is on it. But I wouldn't say I don't care about the other person. I care about the review because I do care about the review. I wouldn't have clicked on the video. However, I try just for me. That's just for me. I mean, I respect that that's what you're saying. You don't care about them. But I care about what's happening in the reviews. That's why I'm watching. I'm watching them because I want to see what their experiences were and match them with mine. How you doing? Eric is in here. Perry, all you guys. I appreciate you guys coming in. The U Ultra it's a good phone. You know, is it a killer device? No, it's not a killer device. The U Ultra is not a bang 'em up, shut 'em down device. I just feel like the price is what made everybody upset. And let me say this now, if you follow me on Twitter, I posted something on Twitter talking about the review. You know, I've launched smartphoneconversations.com, so I tend to do a detailed written review on my website. So if you want to see the written review of the U Ultra, go to smartphoneconversations.com and you will see the written review. Sometimes a written review is a heck of a lot better than a video, but I do the video because I have a YouTube channel, you know. And here's the thing about this though. The U Ultra, I think people are just comparing it. They're doing it in the wrong way. And Grant just posted something before I start talking about it. Grant posted a great one. He says, like the light bleed. I didn't hear about that online. I wouldn't have entered my mind. Exactly. Things like that, when people started saying, oh, the light bleed is horrible. Man, I can't even, that to me, that's just nitpicking. But I don't think that the people who are nitpicking it are bad or wrong. I just don't think that's important enough to call out in a review. If it's that bad, go get you another unit. That's just how I feel about that. But the U Ultra, I think people are comparing it, and I'm not saying they're wrong. I don't want to say that they're wrong. I just feel like the way it's being reviewed is wrong. Like I've heard there's some reviewers out there, and I'm not going to say their names, but one reviewer said, it's time that we start picking apart devices for what they do right and not what they do wrong. Well, everybody changes their mind, and that particular reviewer decided to change his mind, I guess. But now that reviewer says about this device that it's just a horrible device. I just don't see it. I don't see this horrible device that these people are reviewing. In my review, you know, I talk about pretty much everything I could possibly think about with this phone. I followed my same pattern. I review certain areas. And people keep on saying, man, come on, Jay. You know, you're just saying that. No, I'm not. Look at my review of the Ultra and then go look at some other reviews or all the full reviews I've done. They're pretty much in line, just like the U Ultra. I'm going to pick out all the things I feel like the average consumer will want to see, review it, and call it a day. The phone isn't bad. The phone isn't bad. The phone's good. The phone doesn't have a good price. Now, and I can say that because I have the phone. To everybody that does not have the phone, why are you saying that? Are you just upset that it's higher priced than you thought it was going to be and you want them to lower it? Well, like I've said in plenty of other videos, you can get it for $620 right now. That's doable. It's $750 plus taxes through HTC website, which is where this came from. But if you decided, okay, I was going to wait, and I feel sorry for the people that imported it early because they paid like almost $1,000. They paid like $900. That's crazy. But you know, I just feel like the U Ultra got a bad rap, and it's only because of a few people online. And I'm saying a few. I don't have to call out the names of the reviewers. They spoke, and I guess the tech community decided that they were right. In all actuality, people miss out on great phones just because they're listening to certain things online that they shouldn't probably. You make your own choices on what you want to watch and who you want to listen to. But the camera on the Ultra is phenomenal. The microphones, the 4 microphone setup, I mean, nobody's really talking about the positive things. And to the people that said, not to them, I'm not attacking you, but people who said the battery on here is getting 2.5 hours, I just don't see it, man. In my full review, like I said, that's just like watching one Netflix movie and the phone completely dies from that. Even this phone right here, this old Nexus 6, which is in mint condition, I might add, it's brand new pretty much. Even this phone right here, I can pull down 4.5, 5 hours of screen on time. I've got the screenshots I can show you. I still monitor certain things because this is a 3-year-old device. So, you know, no phone right now, I believe, is going to pull down 2 hours. Even that Sony that I've got back here, it's in my bag. I keep a tech bag. Even this phone right here has a 2700 milliamp hour battery. I thought this phone right here was going to have crappy battery. I crapped all over this phone, and I talked a lot of trash about this phone prior to having it. I really did. I'm honest. If I make it like with the OnePlus 3 video I just made yesterday, I turned right around and made another video the same a couple hours later once OnePlus reached out to me to let everybody know, hey, this is an update. I talked a lot of trash about this phone. I said I'm not buying it because the battery is too small and it's got a MediaTek processor. Well, turns out it's not that bad, and I actually fell in love with this edge-to-edge display. Some people liked it, some people hated it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I ended up liking it. But I just feel like the U Ultra is getting a bad rap. Now that my full review is done on the U Ultra, I'm waiting on other people that I follow online to post their full reviews because I want to see how they feel about it. My pros and cons for that device, the pros were the screen. I think I did a written review somewhere around here, but my pros outweigh the cons. The cons for this are really easy to pick out. The secondary display is not that useful in my experience. Some people say that the display is really good. I don't really care I don't think that it's as useful as it could be. It needs an update. It's stuck on 24-hour time. You know what I'm saying? Like little minor things like that. It's a big phone, so and it's slippery. I have this nice grip on it from iMac that I bought for $8. Eric from Easy Computer Solutions says that his full review is coming this weekend. Yeah, I've actually had the device for a couple of weeks, maybe going on almost 3. And if you noticed, I didn't put up a lot of videos on this. I normally by the time my review comes out, I normally have a ton of videos up on a phone. Well, this phone right here got so much controversy at launch, people being all upset about the price and saying it's not worth it. And it's just really unfortunate that a lot of people followed what other people said about this phone. And then they start coming to my videos saying, you need to go watch so-and-so's video because he did a real review. Like, well, what the heck are you talking about? To me, it just goes to show how much you're influenced by what you see online. The majority of the people that might be complaining about this phone don't even have it. They didn't spend the money to buy it. And so, when I hear them saying stuff like that, I don't even pay them any attention. I just say, oh, okay. I'm not going to disrespect them and tell them to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I just say, oh, okay, great. Did you buy it? Or, I'll say something like, oh, so you own it? And their response can only be, no, I saw so-and-so had bought it and he said, come on, I think there's a lot of tech enthusiasts out there. Who they don't do YouTube videos, but I respect them because they're still tech enthusiasts. There's a lot of people out there that end up starting a YouTube channel because they're tired of looking at all the fake reviews. Eric said he started his channel that way. I kind of started my channel kind of for that reason, not solely for that reason. I just was buying so much stuff and I was like, this YouTube thing seems pretty cool. Maybe when I retire, I'll start doing more of it if time allows. So the U Ultra, I didn't start this live stream to talk about the U Ultra. It just so happened that this is a hot item right now. Well, people you don't have to accept it or not, but this is a hot item. Turn on my spotlight behind this thing. This phone right here is getting a lot of attention. And it's getting a lot of attention because people want it. People want it. People want this phone, and they're so mad that the price is high, but there's no excuse now that you can't grab this phone because it's $600 shipped on eBay and they're all brand new, unlocked. All the colors are in stock. So if you really want it, just buy it, man. Don't worry about what we are saying online. Just go buy it. I'm telling you, in my experience, this phone is phenomenal. Like that little commercial they did with me a couple of months ago. I didn't know it was that great, but let me just be honest here. It doesn't have wireless charging. So what? This thing charges fast. And I saw Eric's video on the charging times and stuff like that. That was his experience. Mine is different. Mine doesn't take that long to charge. Mine takes about an hour and 5 or something like that. Hour and 5 minutes, hour and 10 minutes, I think it was. I don't remember how long it charged, but it's not very long. But that's good enough for me. But the Pixel cost a ton of money. And I talked trash about that phone too, but I ended up buying it because the best way to do it, and I'm just kind of piggybacking all the things that are going on in the live stream. So if you're not in the live stream and you're part of the replay crew right now, I appreciate your support. But the live stream is definitely where it's at. And there's a good conversation going on in the live stream. The Pixel is one of the best Android experiences as far as software goes. But let's be honest here. The Pixel is way overpriced. And you don't even get any memory options. You don't even get an SD card. And people praise that the phone cameras, but the cameras on the Pixel, to me, I don't think they're better than this phone. I think if you're a tech reviewer, you can only say, like, this is Night Tech is in the Night Tech. Shout out to Night Tech. He's in the live stream. He's saying, I don't do HTC. Well, here's how I feel about that. Now, I think Eric, Grant, most of the people that are in my stream are tech reviewers. Most of them are. But Eric, Grant, Night Tech are the ones that I can see on this page for tech reviews. And I always tell my Project 13, I say, dude, listen, you can't call yourself a tech reviewer. You can. And how do I say this without offending people? Oh, people, they blow things out of proportion when I say it. If you're a tech reviewer, I think you need to open your mind up to all of the tech. I don't just do smartphones. I do these crazy, I don't have to review all this kind of stuff. I want it. I want to check it out. But you can run this isn't to one particular person. It's just in response to Night Tech. He was saying that when phones come out, I don't want to spend all that money sometimes. But reality is we're making a little bit of money on YouTube, so we can put half of our money with it to get to the product, But I don't have a certain OEM that I just hate. Hate is a strong word. I don't have a certain OEM that I just dislike. Nah, it's not like that. I would have never purchased this phone probably if I didn't see it in person. But man, when I saw this in person, oh my gosh, I was like, yo, I gotta get this bad boy. I gotta have this back at the office. So, and that's not no shot at Night Tech. He just said he doesn't do HTC. Everybody has a preference, but me, I like all tech, and I like to try all OEMs. Like I said before, I would have never bought this phone. It has a MediaTek, and if you know me, you know I'm not a fan of MediaTek processors. Man, I love this phone. Eric did a funeral on this phone. Night Tech loved this phone. My Project 13 loved this phone. Several people hate this phone. Rakumba, he liked this phone. A lot of people like this phone, and I was despising it. But once I got it in hand, man, I was like, I gotta get it. The HTC Ultra, everybody to me is focusing on the price and what it does not have. But let's be honest here. How many times have you wet your phone? How many of you are actually going to put a case on your phone right when you get it? Let me check out some of these comments here. How many people have actually dropped their phone in the toilet like multiple times and all that? My S7, the only reason, and my S7 Edge, the only reason they got wet is because I intentionally dunked them into water. I have not dropped a phone in water or anything like that. That just hasn't happened, man. I buy a case immediately in a tempered glass, regardless of what the hardware looks like. Now, this phone right here, I actually have a D brand because the pre-order is up for the D brand. And so I ordered my D brand for it. And some people say, oh, you messing it up. Listen, the phones, you probably don't have the phone. It's a slippery phone. This phone it has slipped out of my pocket. I have been on the couch getting ready to go to the store. And then I put the phone in my pocket and I have on sweats or something like that. And then I tie in my shoe. True story. I got up, left, went to the store. I'm running around town, checking my mail and all over the place. And I didn't know where my phone was. And I have multiple phones. And I thought, you know what? I bet it's at home. And without a doubt, it was sitting at home on the couch right where I was bending over tying my shoes. That's when I first got it. I didn't have any case on it or nothing. The phone is way too slippery. It needs a case, or it needs an ultra thin grip case like this, or skin or something. And that's not just this phone. That's a lot of phones. I have a skin on my S7 that I'm using. And that's just how it goes. Ford Tech, I'm sick of hearing about the price too. Right now, Night Tech, you can buy any device you want to buy. I'm not, again, that wasn't directly to you. That was just in response to what you were saying about you don't do HTC. Everybody has a preference, but I feel like if you're going to do, and not you, but if people say they want to do YouTube and you want to do reviews, sometimes you're going to have to buy stuff that your fans want and you may not like. That's just how it is. You don't know how many, not you, Night Tech, but just so many people have, yes, Grant, the retired life is fantastic. I'm not technically retired, because, I still run the house prayer ministry. But from the corporate world out there, retirement is great, sir. But so many people have asked me to review a Sony phone, and I kept saying there's no Sony phone. If you remember my run with Sony, it was pretty bad at the beginning, but the Z3 helped that. It helped me feel different about Sony. And sometimes as a reviewer, you just gonna have to buy, like, especially if you're on YouTube and you have a lot of followers, your viewers are gonna tell you to buy certain devices. Now, you don't have to do it. However, when you're buying phones or you're running a YouTube channel, I'm not speaking to anybody in particular. I'm just saying, what's going on, Scooter? I'm just saying, if you're gonna run a YouTube channel, eventually you got to break out of your shell. I've told my Project 13 1,000 times. Listen, sir, you got to at least buy an iPhone and review it. But that's not me telling him what to do. And I've spoken of it publicly. I'm not talking about him behind his back or nothing like that. I've told him multiple times, listen, buy the iPhone, review it. If you don't like it, you can definitely sell it and get all your money back, if not more, or sell it for exactly what it is. And, he hasn't done it yet, so that's his choice. But he has people on his channel that want to see him review an iPhone just because of how dedicated he is to Android. And luckily, I'm blessed not to be stuck on any OS. I have a preference of BB10. I have a preference of BlackBerry OS. But the next BlackBerry that's coming out, unfortunately, is Android. Let me cut and paste something here real quick, guys. The next thing that's coming out is Android from them. So, so what can I do? Just got to go with it. That BlackBerry is $550. I think that's priced wrong. You know why? Because of the Blade V8 Pro. Because of the Moto G5 Plus. I think some of these phones are priced incorrectly. I'm going to enjoy every OS. That's just the way I'm going to do it. Now I'll read this, what Eric just said. He said, tech reviewers review tech even if it's good or bad. I don't disagree with that. I don't have a rebuttal for that because I actually agree with it. And again, that's not to say, again, because Night Tech kind of started this conversation in the live stream. Shout out to the replay crew. But that's not to say that Night Tech is wrong by saying he doesn't do HTC. He's openly said, I'm a Huawei fanboy, but he still buys other phones. He still buys other products. But I kind of agree with that statement. I think if you're a tech reviewer, you got to jump out there and just get, because it'll be the time that you jump out there and review something completely out of your realm, and you're going to watch your channel explode. You might pick up 1,000 people just from one video. Who knows? I don't know. So, I kind of agree with that. I don't disagree with that. I think if you're a reviewer, especially on YouTube, and you start to get a really big following, you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. Basically, when I say step outside of your room, you got to step outside of your comfort zone, and you got to roll with it, man. You got to roll with it. You have to grab some tech and review it, whether you like it or not. And, okay, so this person, Xiao, says that I'm a hypocrite because I said people say the price is too high, don't own the phone. Yet he says about the BlackBerry price. Well, the fact is, I'm probably going to buy it. I'm talking to all the cheerleaders out there. Most of the phones you see me talk about on my channel, I actually buy them. I actually get them. So I'm not a hypocrite. I call you guys cheerleaders if you always sit on the sidelines and talk about what somebody else is saying, and you never buy the phone. So if that applies to you, then you're the hypocrite. If you feel like I'm misleading people, you don't know me very well, and you must just be stopping by. I don't know who you are, but you definitely don't know who I am if you think I'm a hypocrite, because most of the phones I talk about on my channel prior to them coming out, I pick up probably 99% of them. And so the BlackBerry, LaShawn is crazy. LaShawn, you bought that expensive Pixel. The BlackBerry is $550, but it's got the same internals as phones that cost $200. That's what I mean. So ask, don't start trying to take jabs. The BlackBerry that's coming out for $550, that's going to be a solidly built phone. It's going to have some great hardware. I've already said people who know me know I'm a BlackBerry fan. I love BlackBerry. But that phone right there, I feel like, why are they pricing it at $550 plus taxes? But the internals are the same as the Blade V8 Pro. The internals are the same, if not worse, than the upcoming G5 Plus. The G5 Plus, guys, if you don't know, it has the camera that's on the S7, 1.7 aperture. That's going to be a killer camera. So the Key 1 is probably going to be a sweet phone, but it has the same internals as the G5 Plus, the Blade V8 Pro, and several other phones that have the 625, So pricing on phones is what stops a lot of people. Don't be people get so offended up front, you start trying to, instead of, I'll say this, and this is directly to Xiao or whatever your name is, who called me a hypocrite. If you want to go watch Pocket Now, Android Authority, Android Central, MKBHD, Flossie Carter, all these people, Erica Griffin, who have 500,000 subscribers, knock yourself out. Go ahead and do it. If you could believe everything they say, I'm not saying they're wrong. All I'm saying is you're on the wrong channel to say I'm a hypocrite. Because I don't have all the review units they have. And I think if you were following me, you would know this. I don't even know your name. I know a lot of people who follow me, but I don't get that, man. I got people begging for subs. I didn't see that. I have a saying that, for people that want to be a YouTuber, put your content out there, man. Don't worry about who's watching or how many you're going to get from whatever, because it'll be that video that you think is not going to do well, and it takes off. And I'm just, for example, those videos that I put up, let me jump back. I got to jump back because Nighttech said it and I wasn't going to address it, but he said it. Nighttech said the BlackBerry is priced basically at $550 because it's for business world. Nighttech, I got to disagree. They have been saying, BlackBerry has been saying that for how many years? Come on. That's not for no business world. They're trying to get money. And now that TCL has taken over, they got to pay more people. I don't believe in this security thing and all that. Anybody in this stream, have you ever gotten a virus on your Android phone or your iOS device or your Windows phone? Have you gotten a virus on any of those? Do you feel any less secure not using the BlackBerry OS? Now remember, I'm a BlackBerry fiend. So do you feel any less secure, and do you feel any less of a business person when in reality, businesses are using iPhones right now? They left BlackBerry for the iPhone. I don't buy into this security thing, and I don't buy into this for business people. All these companies want to make money, and that's what it's all about. He said, LaShawn said he think he got a virus on his Kindle Fire. I forgot about, hey, but why are you joking? The Amazon OS is pretty sweet. I really like that. Blue, I forgot about Blue. Blue, shout out to Grant. I forgot about the Blue operating system, or the Blue company. But I don't think people aren't buying BlackBerry for no business purposes. That's just something that BlackBerry is trying to use to set themselves apart. The business world has moved away from, look at that. Mark said it before I could even, Mark typed that in the live stream before I could even say it. The business world has moved away from BlackBerry. And you know what? That's true. Because our corporation, when I was still in the office, people had BlackBerries when I first got there. By the time I left, they had iPhones. And that's just what it is. No one's buying BlackBerry. All that hype about it's the most secure. And sadly, it's people who actually believe that and no disrespect, but they're not even business people. They don't even work for a corporation. They're just people like me and you who buy the phone and then they go to work. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know what? And Grant, there you go, man. Grant said it's not even BlackBerry without the OS. I told you, I've said that a million times. That's the only thing that makes me not want to buy this new BlackBerry, is because it's just another Android phone with a keyboard. Everybody keeps saying, every time I bring this up when I'm in some kind of forum or something like that, people start saying, oh, dude, it's the most secure, you idiot. You don't go look at some of the comments on the video. You idiot, it's the most secure phone in the world. Oh gosh. Buying into the hype, man. Buying into the hype. Oh, the BlackBerry Pearl was one of my favorites too, man. I love the BlackBerry Pearl. But, you know, Enterprise is great, but they're making their money from the masses with Enterprise. They're not making it off of one individual. Yeah, I agree, Grant. They were buying it for BB and the hardware. If you think that iMessenger is so sweet, you need to go look at BlackBerry Messenger. Because when did that come out? Like, when did BlackBerry Messenger come out? And when did iMessenger come out? Everybody's caught up on BlackBerry iMessenger, but BlackBerry Messenger, BBM, world famous. World famous. Top messaging app for I don't know how many years. But everybody has their rise and fall, and it happens to all of them. It happens to all of them. That's just how it is. So the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, if you guys didn't see it, there's a new leak that just came out today about the Galaxy Note 8. Now, you know, the Galaxy Note 8, oh gosh, man, listen, Joseph Sagagat, if you think I'm a hypocrite, kick rocks. Just leave. There's other people out there for you to watch. Get out of my stream. If you don't like what I'm saying and you think I'm a hypocrite, you know what you can do. You pick up your remote and change the channel. Wait, let me help you. There you go. I took care of it for you. All you clowns, stop, Jay Will, stop. Don't even go off. All you people who keep coming to my small little channel, telling me I'm a hypocrite, telling me this, see you later, dude. Just go look at Pocket now. You want to be sold on everything? You want to believe everything everybody says? Go look at those huge bloggers who have like 2 million subscribers and stay over there. Don't come over here to my channel. See you later. Bye, Joseph. Now, there's a new leak out on the Note 8 and the design. The S8 Plus. Now, first, let's tackle something. And I hate to keep bouncing to this, but listen. The S8 is supposed to have a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. What do you think all those same people, and I already talked about this. What do you think those same people who said, oh, this crap only has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery? I know you're not going to tell me that HTC Sense is not more optimized than Samsung Grace UI or TouchWiz. Anybody in the stream think that TouchWiz or Grace UI is better than Sense UI? I don't. So thumbs down from me. I don't know. You guys can take a stab at it. I don't think TouchWiz or Grace UI, which is TouchWiz with a different little look to it, flatter icons, is better than and more optimized than Sense UI. I don't think so. What's going on, Echo Baby? Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think TouchWiz is you can pull a brand new Samsung phone out of the box and within a short period of time, and again, I'm not going to take shots at Samsung. I'm just saying you can pull it out and pull down lag right out of the box. What's going on, Donovan? I see you watching it. He's on his G5 Plus. He picked one up. That's just how it goes. I don't think that Sense is any less optimized or that it runs worse than TouchWiz. And I'm a Samsung fan. That's just how it goes. Bumpy cam on the live stream. I know you guys saw that. But listen, the S8 and the S8 Plus are getting ready to drop. Boom. The G6 has already dropped. The G6 to me is more appealing at this point. I'm still ready to see the S8, but man, I think I'm over curved screens. Curved screens are just so, the They're a pain, man. They're a pain. Curved screens are a real pain. And, you know, they don't help us at all. They don't help me. Curved screens are, let me check the stream here. Okay. Curved screens are a nightmare. Just a nightmare. They just, some of the basic things, like a case, it's horrible to try to look for. Man, I know, LaShawn, curved screens are, have you seen the new iPhone in red? Oh, no, I haven't seen that in red, but, you know, it's to support a good cause. Yes, the G6 is solid. It's to support a good cause and everything, and I respect that, but I won't be buying a red iPhone. Not because of the color or whatever. You know, but, you know, curved screens, they're not very practical. You can't have good cases with things. You can't have good screen protectors. They're going to peel. They're going to get in the way. They're going to get in the way. Anybody who likes curved screens, yeah, I think they're super cool, but they're not functional at all. People think that the G6 is going to get crapped on by the S8. They need to check it out. The G6 is hot. D-Love, how you doing, man? The G6 is hot. The build quality is nice. Super small body, big screen. It's going to be one. Yeah. I've already got a bunch of stuff for the G6 and a bunch of stuff for the S8 and the S8 Plus. The S8 isn't out yet. Robert says, do I think it's better than the G6? The G6 is already announced and out for sale. The S8 isn't even announced yet, so I can't say it. I don't know. Let me get my glasses here. The Mate 9 is cool and everything. I've already reviewed the Mate 9. I think it's a fantastic phone, you know. By the way, real quick question. If you join the stream now, you should be able to watch this in 1080p. That's because I'm using the S7 to do a live stream. I won't be using the YouTube Live app going forward until they iron out all the bugs, until it becomes more stable, because I've been going now for 47 minutes, going on 48 minutes, and I haven't had any crashes, any failures. That's how I know it's the YouTube live streaming app. That's how I know. I know that it's the YouTube streaming app because I haven't had any crashes, no failures, nothing. Moms of 4, yes, I'm supposed to have both of them. I've already got cases, tempered glass, everything. Nicholas, you should check your phone because it's in 1080p. I'm looking at it in 1080p everywhere. See that? 1080p, and then I got 1080p over here. So you should be able to view it in 1080p. But I won't be using the YouTube app, the live streaming app. I won't be using that going forward because, yep, see, Andrew Cruz, everybody should have it in 1080p. The YouTube app is limited to 720p, and I noticed that I have a ton of errors with the YouTube app. It'll keep popping up saying bad connection, and then the other day in the middle of a stream, it crashed on me. So, the YJ Willow, the Nexus 6 is a boss. That's why. The Nexus 6 is a boss. This one right here is before its time. Quad HD display, dual speakers, water resistant, beautiful design. Hey, cameras are the weak point. Anyway, the YouTube app is horrible, man, at this point. And I just think that it might be getting worse at this point because now they've opened it up to everybody. And so they're getting hit on their server a lot harder. Some people who never streamed, some people who never did live streams, don't you see them streaming all the time now? Like everything. Like my Project 13, that's my boy, but he stream all the time. Now I told him, go for it, dude. Go for it. Stream all you want to, because he never used to stream a lot. But yeah, I think the YouTube application, that was the problem. Anyway, in my other stream the other day, it crashed in the middle of my live stream. And then as soon as it crashed, YouTube sent me a message, like when I ended it on the phone, it said, do you want to send a report on this issue immediately? And then they start emailing me all these forms to fill out. And I was like, so you guys, did y'all do it on purpose, or like what happened, you know? So it's unfortunate that the G6 of the 32, you only get 21 gigs available, but it does have an SD card. So, you know, I'll be popping in a 256 gig card and calling it a day. And I'll set my default, you know. Shout out to Roy Park. He says he's new to the channel. The G6 is going to be very, very impressive. And I think the fact that it does have 32 gigs on board, that's kind of a bummer. But look at that price though. It's down. The price is $600, $650 or something like that. It's got expandable storage though. I feel curved. This is from Dion Mister. I feel curved screens is a different look because a lot of phones these days are pretty much the same. But I would like for Samsung to make a flat display to give customers the option. I've been saying that for a long time, for sure. Number of live streams for me, 0. My 1 year anniversary is April 3rd. Hey, Donovan, everybody on my stream, Donovan, I challenge you to do a live stream on your 1 year anniversary. We will all come and watch. At least I know I'll be there. So for your one year anniversary, I need you to go ahead and do a live stream. I'll co-sign for it. I think you're going to do fantastic because you're a nice person already. So I don't think you'll have a problem sitting in front of the camera, you know, doing a live stream. So I'll be there, and everybody on this live stream, and everybody watching the replay, hit Donovan's channel and let's support him on his first live stream for his 1 year anniversary, which is on April 3rd. Let's do that. All right, so yep, done. Donovan's gonna stream on his 1 year anniversary. I'm gonna be there. Everybody on my channel, all my 42,000 subscribers, if you're watching this, whoever you are, hit Donovan's channel. Let's take the subs over there to him so he can have 42,000, and let's all watch him live. I don't know if that would be sweet if all of my subscribers actually logged in and watched me live. 40,000 people watching me live. That would be sweet right there. That would be, the comment section will be off the charts. It would just be crazy. The G6 does not have adaptable storage, but for me, as long as I get at least 16 gigs actually free, I'm cool with it, because my music that I put on my phone is only like less than a gig, because I don't keep a lot of music on the phone. And then, you know, apps, I keep about 100 to 105, and they're not a lot. It's always the same. And then the way I set it up, you know, it's kind of the same. So I don't have a problem with the 21 gigs available. What do I think about the Snapdragon 821 versus the 835? The 835 isn't out yet. The only thing we know about, and this is to Roy Park, only thing we know about the 835 is that it's supposed to be extremely efficient on the battery. You know, so maybe that's why Samsung put a 3,000 milliamp hour battery in their phone, because they've got it optimized just right. Who knows? I don't know. But it's hard to speak on the S8 because for the first time, Samsung, the leaks come out, but Samsung has done a fantastic job at keeping that phone under wraps, haven't they? They've kept that thing under the wraps. It's crazy. It's crazy. Check something here. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, I think it's the YouTube app. The YouTube app, I'm not telling you guys not to use it, but there are other applications to use besides the YouTube app that actually stream in 720p. The YouTube app right now, totally not, I won't be using it. Because I would rather bring you guys in the content in 1080p from my Samsung or my C922 Logitech over there, the beast. But yeah, I don't think the YouTube app is going to work for me. But the S8, the iPhone, the red iPhone 7 is out today. One other thing, I already talked about this on my other video, but the iPhone came out at 128 gig in the SE. that's actually a pretty good purchase. If you like the iPhone, you like the small phones like that, the iPhone SE 128 gig, you should go buy that. Because we all know the iPhones have great value, and 128 gigs on an iPhone, you actually get 118 gigs or 115 gigs available. So I might pick that one up, you know, do a quick little upgrade. Let me see here. That's right. Everybody that's in this stream, go sub to Donovan, man. Hook it up. You know, I'm not the type of reviewer or YouTuber who wants to try to keep all the subs and tell people to don't subscribe. go subscribe, man. Oh man. The S8 and the S8 Plus, 835 optimized for the battery. That's pretty much what it's gonna be, man. And I think for sure, you know, the S8, the S8 Plus, we know they're gonna sell just because they're brand, just like iPhones. They're going to sell just like iPhones. But are they really worth it? I don't know. When you see those phones on my channel, the G6 might be one of the few phones that I say is actually worth the price completely. The only thing that might hold me back from saying that is that 32 gigs onboard storage. Unfortunately. That might be the only thing. Because I think if it's got all those other features, they definitely could have given it 64. It wouldn't have made the price go up that much. Come on. It wouldn't have done it. We know that it wouldn't have. So stop it, LG. Stop it. Let me see. Here's some comments here. Oh yeah, no problem, Donovan. Yeah, man. Share the love. So Roy got to play with the BlackBerry Key 1. That's pretty good. It could be a sleeper if it gets released on the carrier stateside. The problem with that is the name BlackBerry doesn't do very well on carriers. BlackBerry needs to stay unlocked because the name BlackBerry on carriers is not going to sell. It's not going to work. The carriers are not having it. Not going to happen. Carriers cannot sell BlackBerries just like they can't sell Windows phones. And that's because the people who are trying to sell you those phones, they don't even care about it, you know? They don't care about it. I'm not good at multitasking, as you can see. They're not good at selling certain phones. Peace out, man. So the S8, $950 for the Plus, $850 for the small one. You think that's worth it? I'm rolling up 58 minutes. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to bounce on out of here. Appreciate you awesome people joining me in the stream. Just wanted to stream real quick and check things out. Check in with you guys on Friday. I won't be available for the weekend. I might be online for the weekend. This is a boss. This bad boy is mint condition. You don't know nothing about this. You guys probably didn't even know I was still rolling with this bad boy. Boom, mint condition. Got a mark on it. Got a frost little case to keep it in. Call it a day. This bad boy is ahead of its time. On 7.0 with that Pixel launcher, can't be beat. Man, I only want to talk about the Pixel. LaShawn, don't say anything either. I know you're out there. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, LaShawn. Anyway, man, stream's about to go ahead and come to a close. Just want to let you guys know I'm done using the YouTube application for live streams because in this 1 hour stream, I didn't have any crashes, no bad, nothing. It went straight through. You guys probably didn't have any buffering. it probably went through pretty good for you. So no YouTube live app for me for a while, not until they iron it out and not until they give me the option to do 720, anything higher than 720p. So you guys are awesome. It's your man, Jay Will. Join me on smartphoneconversations.com, and also join me every Tuesday for my live podcast through Spreaker. If you haven't followed me on Spreaker yet, just go ahead and there'll be a link in this video afterwards. You just hit that link in the video in the description for Spreaker. I started doing a live podcast on Tuesdays for a few minutes in the day. And I do post them to my YouTube channel. But the live doing a podcast are pretty cool. They're pretty cool because, I can sit back and relax and, I don't have to be on camera and, just sit around and talk. And I can type more on the computer. I can find news and talk to you guys about it live. It's pretty cool. But yeah, join me on Spreaker. It's Mr. J.L. Williams. It's the same for all social media. But there'll be a link to that in the description of this video once it's not live anymore. And, follow me on smartphoneconversations.com. Like I said before, I've officially launched that. So you'll see articles going up. I don't write a lot of articles on there, maybe 4 a week or something like that. Maybe sometimes 3 a week, maybe. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining me for a quick hour stream. You guys are awesome. I hope you enjoyed the stream in 1080p. I'll see you in the next one.